Leave those habits that were so comfortable. Leave them back in the graveyard in 2020. Hello, Life Center family and friends. I trust you had a great Christmas and on your way to having a happy and joyful New Year. Uh, Speaking about the joy, I want to talk just for a minute today about a spiritual trifecta to build your joy. I guess the first question would be, what is a trifecta if you're not familiar with the term? Well, a trifecta is a 20th century, late 20th century term originating from horse racing. I was raised in the New Orleans, Louisiana area, and we used to have a large racetrack called the Fairgrounds. And being in the area, you hear people talking a lot about racing, and the trifecta was one of the common terms that they would use. Now, trifecta is actually a bet placed on a race in which the bettor has to predict which horses will finish first, second, and third in that exact order. So if we're talking about a spiritual trifecta, what am I betting on? Well, I'm betting uh, that if you consider the things that I mentioned in the spiritual trifecta, you will harvest a year end of joy. Just like the person at the fairgrounds making the bet on the horse and winning that trifecta. I think that, and believe and know that if you would consider this spiritual trifecta, that you would harvest a bag full of or a year end of joy. What's my bet? I'm so confident that I'm going to bet you an elephant to a bag of potato chips. That's the bet. I'm so confident that you're going to reap this joy. So, what are the order of the trifecta? What's the first thing? The first thing is to count your blessings. I always like to mention a song that had that name, and it says, Count Your Blessings. And the song went something like this. It says, Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. So remember, the first thing to do is to count your blessings. Now, what's the second thing in a trifecta? The second thing is that we have to leave the graveyard of 2020. And what I mean by leave the graveyard is whatever is dried up in your life or whatever has been removed, died, or was you were separated from, let it go. Don't stand and mourn over regrets, mistakes, missed opportunities, or opportunities that didn't come. Leave those habits that were so comfortable. Leave them back in the graveyard in 2020. And don't even mentally go back and place flowers on them. They're dead. Let them go. Uh, that was 2020. Leave it at the graveyard. Things will be different for everyone. So the things that die for you might be different from someone else. So don't compare your dead whatevers to someone else. And don't wait till family members come to leave the graveyard. Just leave. Go by yourself. This is a personal birth of joy season for you. And the third thing, what's the third thing? The third thing is to go to the maternity ward's nursery. Maternity wards nursery. Yes, maternity wards are where life's journeys begin. Babies are born there. And the spiritual maternity ward is where we receive new ideas, assignments, inventions, births of purpose, confirmations representing new life, new hope, new peace, and new joy. So you're saying the spiritual maternity ward, where is it? Well, you can create your own spiritual maternity ward at home. How do you do that? First, you find yourself a quiet, undisturbed place where you can live, where you live at, and where you can spend some time alone. And then you want to prepare yourself for the birthing of new things. Get yourself some communion and take your communion with yourself. And then pray for the birthing of new things in your life for the new year and wait for the download. Now, you may have to do it 2 or 3 times, but you will get the download. And when the download comes, don't trust your memory to record what you received. It didn't work for you last year, and it will not in the new year. Write it down, record it. And you say, why am I so confident this trifecta is going to work? Well, let me tell you. First of all, I know that God loves you. I know that God has a plan for your life, as he did for many before us. Jeremiah 29:11 talks about that. He knows the plans for us. In the Psalms, it says that God will lead us and guide us with his own eye. And in Proverbs, it said he will direct our paths. So I'm quite confident that God will continue to do that for you. And remember this, your end has been spoken since the beginning, and you've not fulfilled your assignments. So the new downloads will continue to come. And remember this thought. God didn't need you, he wanted you. Let me say that again. God didn't need you, he wanted you. See, God love is a verb. It's not a noun. It's just not just sitting there. It has to move. It's an action word because God so loved us that he sent his son to die. He demonstrated his love while we were yet sinners. And so I'm quite confident that you're going to get your uh, year-end download of joy to going into the new year. Now, what about our little wager of our bet? Okay, uh, I'm betting that you will get an infusion of joy from following the spiritual trifecta I mentioned. That's count your blessings. That's leave the graveyard of 2020 and then go visit that spiritual maternity ward. Okay, and in the order given. Okay, I'm so confident that you don't even have to send me the bag of potato chips. I'm going to win. All I want you to do is just let me know that something was downloaded to you, and you can do that by contacting me at welcomecenter@lifecenter.org and say, "Hey, Pastor Alex, I got my download." Okay. Now, if you didn't receive a download, you still need to contact me because I need to figure out how I'm going to ship that elephant to you after I purchase it by FedEx or UPS. Okay. But here's one thing I really want to throw out to you. If you don't receive your infusion of joy and you don't want an elephant where you live, you contact me and I'll be glad to agree with you in prayer for your joy and new births to come. Because some of us just been having some difficulty with our downloads, but we want to come in and help you and agree with you, with that. And I'll go one further. If you're having difficulty with joy, maybe even feeling disconnected, overwhelmed, or lacking friendship, or depressed, feel free to contact me. So myself or one of the team members who share my passion for the well-being of others can talk with you because we want to make sure that you get uh, your download. We want your spiritual trifecta to work for you that you can have your harvest. So I'm looking forward to you touching base with me. That's at welcomecenter@lifecenter.org. And remember, until the next time, encourage yourself in that your purpose is being fulfilled and you are important to God. You're also important to me because I appreciate you and I love you and look forward to talking with you or hearing from you at the Welcome Center at lifecenter.org. Be blessed and have a happy and prosperous new year.